Hello everyone, myself Aditi and I'm again back with the Leetcode Daily Challenge Problem Series and this is the second day of the month. Okay, so the question is convert an array into a 2D array with conditions. So basically we are given an integer array nums and we are required to create a 2D array from nums satisfying the following conditions. So there are some conditions given. On the basis of the conditions we need to convert integer array nums to a 2D array. Okay, so let's first of all together read out the conditions. The first condition is the 2D array should contain only the elements of the array nums. Second condition is each row in the 2D array contains distinct integers. Third condition is number of rows in the 2D array should be minimal. So these are the required conditions according to which we need to plan the approach. So in the output, we need to return the resulting array, and if there are multiple answers, we have to return any of them. And there's a note given that the 2D array can have a different number of elements on each row. So to understand the question better, let us consider this example. Okay, so this is basically an explanation to example number one. Fine, so you are given an integer array nums which has or which contains elements 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so to understand, first of all, remember or just realize the conditions given. We need to have distinct integers in each row. Secondly, we need to have minimum number of rows. Okay, now when you look at the sorted array, after I have sorted the array, you can see 1 occurs thrice. Okay, what does this imply? This simply implies since 1 occurs thrice, any of them cannot be repeated twice in a row. Okay, that means we must need at least 3 rows. At least 3 rows. Why? Because any one cannot be present with another one in the same row. So we need to have a minimum of 3 rows to get a 2D array. Okay, now the second condition was you need to have distinct integers in each row. So let us create a row. Okay, you can see you used first one, then you used the 2 given here. Why are you not using 1 and 1 again? Because you want distinct integers. So you move to 3 2. Okay, then you will move to 3 and then you will move to 4. So you have completed 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now you are only left with these ones, this 3. Okay, so you will use 1 again, you will use 3 and then you will be only left with 1. Okay, so you will be left with this kind of 2D array. I hope you understood the question. Let's approach and let's try to code it together. Okay, so the first step is to sort the array. Okay, let's sort the array nums. Now, so what are we doing? We are first of all sorting the array. Now, to store the different rows, what do we need? We simply need a list of integers. That is an array list. So let's initialize a list of integers. Okay, naming it as the result because why? We need to return the array list for the 2D array. New array list. Okay, so what have we just done? We have just initialize a 2D list to store the resulting rows. Okay, now what do we need to do? We need to iterate through the sorted array. Let's iterate through every element present in the array nums. Okay, while iterating, what are we doing here? We are iterating through the sorted array. Now what do we need to do? First of all, we have initialized a list, a 2D list to store the resulting rows. To add new rows or different rows to this list, we first of all need to go through the nums array. Now, let's initialize, or let's just try placing. We are assuming that there are no elements placed in any of the rows. We have not yet created any rows, so we are just assuming boolean placed equal to false, right? So this simply means try placing the number in an existing row. Fine. Now for this list, okay, for this list of integer called as row, which is a part of our 2D array, named result, what can we write? We can write if the row doesn't contain a number which is present in nums, then what are we going to do? If the number doesn't contain, if the row doesn't contain the number, that simply means that we have distinct elements still left. So what are we going to do? We'll just add that number to the row. Okay, and we'll write place equal to true. Okay, now we'll break out of the loop. And another thing is that if the number couldn't be placed in any existing row, okay, if the number cannot be or couldn't be placed in any existing rows, that simply means that the number is getting repeated. So since we just knew the condition, we know the condition that the question said we need to have distinct elements in every row. So if you cannot place a number in the existing row, that simply means what do you need to do? You need to create a new row. Okay, so let's check if the number is not placed. Let's create a new list of integers called new row. Okay, let's create a new row, new array list, and then we will add that number to the new row. Okay, so new row dot add now. Okay, now after we have created another new row, we need to add that row to our 2D array. That is, we need to add the new row to the result. Okay, and in the end, as asked by the question, we are required to return the 2D array. That is, we are required to return a resulting array, which we have named as result. So let's run the code. Okay, so the code is accepted. Let's submit it. Okay, so the code is submitted, and so yeah, the approach that was shared in the beginning was followed to write the code. And yeah, if you have any problem or if you have any queries, please write it in the comment section, and I'll be continuing the series. So please stay tuned. Thank you.